Hey guys, welcome back to Busted to Built and getting right at her today back on the turbo truck. So trying to finish up this manual to automatic trans swap. Alright, go ahead and just do your slap across my face in your head. Just get it out of the way because you're upset with what I'm doing. I get it. Getting a lot of hate for this, but whatever. Nobody else has to drive it but me, so everybody will be pleased with that much. But we're getting right at it here. And we got the pan pulled here. I yanked the cross member out so I had enough room to get my pan out, because now that this crossover pipe's right there, it's kind of deterring me from getting the pan out this way, so I kind of gotta get it out the side that way instead. But letting her drain off right now, so like I say, I got the pan off, and say it looks like we're in good shape. There's minimal clutch material in there, and it's like I explained in the last video, this is a fresh trans. It's probably got, well, I shouldn't say it's that fresh. It's honestly probably got like 30 or 40,000 miles on it, and hard miles. So this is very, very impressive. Let me show you what it was doing before to explain better. And that transmission was in this truck right here, behind that 6-liter, pulling that load 75 miles an hour in overdrive on the expressway, and it wasn't hunting for gears. So this thing's a pretty sweet outfit. It's sad to retire it, but like I say, we're not talking about that. It's behind me. So all I'm saying is it's had a hard life, and I see nothing in here to deter me from putting this back together. So we're gonna get this pan just cleaned out a little bit, clean the magnet up. There's really nothing on it, just a little bit of clutch material kind of here where things were monkeyed up with my wiring harness. It looks like was hitting against that, but not a big deal. So anyways, I got the new internal harness to put in there. Amazon special here, link in the description. I actually put a fairly high quality one on it when I put this trans together the first time, and so I'm a little upset that it's even leaking to begin with, but I'm not going to put another expensive harness in it if they're all just going to leak. And so this is where we're going to be at, I guess. And then if that one decides to leak, then maybe I'll just go right to the dealer and I'll just get a OEM one and see how that fares. But we've been doing a lot of talking. Let's get wrenching. And I suppose good time is any to give you guys an update on what we're doing with this wiring. So I got a bunch of it hanging down here. And so this truck Let me turn my light off. This is a really good time to go through some explanation because I'm getting a lot of hate on the internet for this right now. But anyways, what's going on here? This truck originally was an automatic, both trucks, the donor truck and the truck that I got the frame for. So we had a half-ton two-wheel drive with a 4.8 that was automatic, and then we had the 3/4-ton four-wheel drive, V8, 4L80, auto, all that stuff. And get away from the heater here. And anyway, so both trucks were automatics. I really wanted to make this thing a manual, so I hunted for a long time to find that 4500, and I spent a lot of time and money to make it work. And after all that, I'm so dissatisfied that we're going back to the auto. So that's what's going on. And it's not like I'm disgracing this truck because it was a factory GM 5-speed. It wasn't. Neither truck was. Harvested all the parts myself, and that was external slave, early 90s NV 4500. It wasn't even generation specific or correct for this. So, like I say, just a hodgepodge of parts. But anyway, neither here nor there. So we're running the 4L60 harness, which isn't a big deal because the plug for the 4L60 and the 4L80 are identical. But you just have to move a couple pins around and take a couple out. The issue is that the input speed sensor, which lives right behind the range sensor here, I plugged that pigtail on for it. And anyways, that's actually internal to the harness, or internal to the trans on the 4L60. The 4L80, it's external, so we just have to repin this long harness at the PCM for the input speed sensor. This is output speed sensor. I've got that already run. That just plugs into the speed sensor that works speedometer and all the goodies there. Got this guy hanging. The 4.8 truck was a flex fuel truck, and so this is composition sensor wiring if I ever want to put a composition sensor back on it for any reason, if I want to run alcohol or E85, so just for future, whatever. But so I gotta get all this crap just kind of tucked back up in there now, run these pins to the PCM, plug them in, and that'll be all set to go. And then the wiring will be handled there. So we got our harness in, pans on, filter, everything there. So we're getting things buttoned up. Obviously this guy's still out of place, my slave cylinder, so we're gonna try and get that out and the pedal out. But I guess let's quit talking about it and be about it. Hey guys, it's a new day in the shop, and we're back on the turbo truck here. I've been picking away at this thing little by little as I can, and I'm just going to tell you guys what I got done. I'm not sure where I left off, but we got all the wiring taken care of from the trans up to the computer here, and everything swapped around for wires. But then what I found out was that my original computer here would not run a 4L80, so there was no operating system I could swap into that computer to actually make it run my 4L80. So then I had to get another computer. So I have the stack of like half a dozen computers, and I found this one I've got labeled. It's a 0453 non-flex fuel two-wheel drive pickup. So anyways, I gave that one a whack, flashed it, and was able to make that run. What I didn't realize at first also is if you're going to do a segment swap for the 4L80, you need to do that before you do an operating system change. So anyway, so basically I've got to do a segment swap to run the 4L80 versus the 4L60, And then I've also got to go in and change my operating system to a 2-bar map sensor since I'm running boost on this. So it's a lot of headache, basically. So at this point, I've got everything working, but with this computer, I can't run my alternator. This is externally regulated, and 04 and down is internally regulated. So this computer is only running this alternator at like 60% duty cycle, which isn't the end of the world by any means. So anyways, it's just not right yet, but everything works otherwise. So it's good for testing. I'm just gonna have to get to the junkyard next time and find an 05 computer, just whatever, doesn't really matter. It just needs to be a non-flex fuel truck so I can change the operating system, and then everything should work fine. So we're in the clear for now on all that, and I've got my interior together, everything except for my shifter cover down there. And I just got to get some trim to put around this. I just got this piece of diamond plate cut out to go on that. So just waiting for a few things, but I figured I'd owe you guys an update on this. So I got transcooler lines in it and transcooler too. So everything's ready on it. As far as to drive, I mean, like I say, we just got to take care of the computer for the charging system. But it'll work just fine for now, just running it around to make sure everything works. But I figure I probably owe you guys a sick, nasty burnout. So let's do that. So that was pathetic. So I did my burnout. Woo, thought I was all cool. Got my tires ooey gooey. Pulled out in the ice and snow, and of course I got no traction to do anything. But I'm thinking, you know, big-headed me, I just put my front drive shaft in there. I'm fine. Well, no, the sub right here wouldn't lock in. So I dinked with it and dinked with it and dinked with it. Finally ended up putting a pair of vice strips out here to lock in that flange. And then I come out here and the tire still wasn't turning. My vice grips are sitting out here spinning around on the wheel. Radio's excited because I'm making motions down low. So I was like, what in the world? So anyway, I pulled all that out. And that would be this guy here. And when you push this flange in on it, it's stripped anyway between this inner piece and this intermediate piece here. All the splines are stripped out of that. So yeah, so anyways, you always got a learning curve when you use junk parts like I do, because I don't ever get anything new and just old junk. So you always got to test it out. So anyway, that was the first test of the four-wheel drive, and I was ashamed that somehow I had overlooked that when I put all this together. So anyways, I got a set of them ordered. In the meantime, I've kind of got some parts and pieces. I'm going to try to see if I can put something else together to make it work. What I ended up doing was took this old locking hub that is just pieces of whatever, I don't know, but I welded the inner and the outer collar together on it and then was able to just slam that in there and drive it in. It's basically just like a flange. And I do have drive flanges for a Dana 44, but I couldn't find them when I needed them. Imagine that. So anyways, it's always when you need it, the stuff's not there or it's not working, but what a great learning experience, right? So anyways, see if I can get something together for this, and then we're going to pull it outside and let it sit. I wanted to pull it out there and move it so that way we were ready for this next snowstorm. It's coming in like just an hour or two. We're supposed to get 6 to 8 inches. Who knows? So this is all pre-hand, and I'm not a meteorologist, so that's probably inaccurate after the fact. We'll all know what the real story was, but just want this thing, wherever I park it, to be able to get out of that spot when I'm done, which I can do that now, but I just want to fix the hub while it's in here and it's dry. So let's do that. All right, so we got another temporary solution. Just got this worn standard hub on it. So I had premium hubs on it before it, but there's nothing premium about a broken hub. So got the standard on it. So now let's try this again. We're going to try and back it out until we can't move anymore. And then we're going to see if we can four-wheel it out into the yard. Okay, you guys saw it firsthand. I got something else going on up there. Either broken or was broken when I put it together. I don't know. I don't even know which side it was until I rewatched the footage. So I know, discouraging, but like I said, it's just used parts and crap. I actually ordered a couple hubs that'll be here in who knows how long, so it's not really relevant. Whew! Heater's going in here. And anyway, when I say it's no big deal on that truck that the computer, I don't have in it, when I say it's no big deal that I've got the wrong computer in it right now, like I say, I mean I can just kind of dink around with it in the yard here and stuff. That truck I don't take out in the winter at all, so April, maybe late March, that'll be when it sees the road, so I just want to have it ready for then, and basically in the meantime, if I can just move it around the yard, that's great. So anyways, it's ready to rip. Burns tires, peels dirt, throws snow, does all that stuff, so I appreciate you guys watching. We've also got an Instagram and Facebook now, just Busted to Build. So check us out if you're on there. I appreciate you guys watching. We'll check you on the next one.